just two more questions for you. We'll shift in a minute, but I want to ask, you identified the distinct importance of Sanders talking about Martin Luther King Jr. And there's the one, look, some people have tried to undermine, he did march and he did do work and, good for him. That should not be negated as a point. But you actually made a deeper point about a really powerful philosophical tradition that he's tapping into when he does this, which has also been, whitewashed in American history and politics.
Well, I think that part of what Sanders is doing when he calls upon the legacy of King this is the proper invocation of King. It's not this kind of sanitized cartoon of Martin Luther King that gets wheeled out every January on the holiday that commemorates his memory. But it's really coming out of an organizing tradition. It's coming out of a political tradition that understands that the mechanism that we have to employ to change the dynamics in this country is one of social movements and mass movements. And I think that is an important legacy that Sanders taps into. But it's also his social democratic tradition, which is King. I don't think he ever stated it forthrightly before his assassination, but there's no question that his Poor People's March and his sharpening economic critique, the deeper he gets into the 1960s, the further he begins to get from the Southern Civil Rights Movement into campaigns for racial and social justice in the North, the sharper his critique of capitalism and economic inequality and its connection to militarism, to materialism, to poverty and racism becomes even more distinct. And I think that those are political frameworks and observations that Sanders has given voice to, along with the much more general social democratic ethos, which is that was central to King's Poor People's Campaign, but just that we need to use the treasury of this country not to war on people, but to wage war on poverty, to wage war on inequality. And I think that Sanders has captured both of those dynamics, one of the social movement aspect of what is necessary to fuel that kind of demand, and also the social democratic demand that we use the power of the state not for evil, but for good in the lives of regular people.
You just watched a Michael Brooks show video. Subscribe to get them all. Why wouldn't you? Don't be foolish. Click subscribe below and become a patron as well. Patreon.com/TMBS. Thanks, everybody.